All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoops' company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right, the fine print's out of the way, and it's time to roll with the show. We're back, and we're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And as I look into the chat, I see the Bills are in, Jason's in, Steve Mason in the house, Chuck's in, Tam, the Fanatic, the Witta himself, Leighton is in, he was attending the Penguin Dig. We've got Mike in, let's see here, man, they're popping up all over the place, so it's already moving like a ticker tape, great to see, so we'll jump right into things. First and foremost, links in the description. Our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors. Make sure and check them out. Give their page a like if you haven't already. Chuck Smalley, the dealer of choice, the dealer we like to promote here. Our friends over at XTREME Scoops. Our friends at XP Team USA. Their podcast every other Friday. Don't forget their Facebook group, their website, and their YouTube channel. Our friends over at Detecteurs. Mark, Ken, Darth, Buddy, they're all doing a great job over there, and initial reports, sounds like their special over the weekend went very, very well. We'll just put it that way. Whether or not you were purchasing Beyond Sight and Sound shirts, or hoodies, or Relics radio, or whatever the case was, it went very well. So thanks to all who were involved in that. And remember, if you made your purchase of a Beyond Sight and Sound hoodie, shirt, whatever Beyond Sight and Sound, make sure and get over to the Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group, because we will be doing something soon for those who do have the shirts. A small little thank you. So make sure you get a picture of yourself with that shirt. We'll be posting up something soon about that. Also, we've got the link for Coin Rings by Sully in there, the link for our featured group of the month, Dirt Pirates Detecting. Make sure and check out their group. Barb's got a great group of diggers over there posting up some nice finds and some nice contests as well that are going on. And also, there's another link in there for a group tonight. There's a link in the description for Awesome Relics New England. Minutes before the show, I had a little bit of a graphic glitch, but I think we still at least got the banner, the cover photo for Awesome Relics New England up for the show tonight. We tried to do the logo for the Penguin Dig for whatever reason with that Windows update or whatever the case was. It was not wanting to cooperate, so we switched gears real quick and got the Awesome Relics New England logo up there. Which, speaking of them, obviously you all have heard about the Penguin Dig before. I mean, we've done what we can to promote it here in past years, including this year, and we've done what we can to share the information around, make a little donation when we can, and things of that nature. And sometimes we've even got a little bit of a promotion about it. Doug will take some time and come on and talk about it, things like that. And this year, we decided we'd do a recap instead of what's been going on, how things have changed, all the people that showed up, and all the things that went on. Obviously, as you all know, I was not able to attend, but that's all right. We know Leighton did. We saw a number of other posts of people that did. The go-lives were great, and nobody better to talk about it than the man himself that was actually there. So tonight we've actually got Doug Bowden on with us to discuss some things about the Penguin Dig. How's it going, Doug?
Hey, how's it going, Josh? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, not a problem. Always a pleasure, especially when we're talking about the Penguin Dig. I mean, you and the others behind the scenes, your friends, your family, maybe some of the admins and other buddies, you guys put on a phenomenal event every year, and it seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know what you're going to do for next year.
I don't know. It is growing every year, and it was a little intimidating this year when so many people decided that they were going to come, and it seemed like everyone was registering at the last minute, so I was freaking out, but it all managed, and we had a good time.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, people have to understand too. We were talking before the show, a lot of times when you see big events like the New England Treasure Show, for example, the Taunton Treasure Show by Silver City Treasure Seekers. That's every other year. I'm sure you've probably been through and seen all the displays and tables at some point in time. And they're planning the day after the event. They're already starting to plan for the next one in 2 more years.
Yep.
And for the Penguin Dig, you guys kind of, I don't know, build the plane as you fly it, basically, with a month and a half of preparation from start to finish to the time of the event. I don't know how you do it.
It might require a little more time for next year. I'm hoping to maybe dabble in it a little bit as far as the beach location and stuff like that, because that stuff's important. And of course, I always accept donations throughout the year, but the past few years I limited. I usually didn't start work on it till January 1st because I have to commit myself quite a bit to it for that entire month and a half, which I'm off work. Luckily, I'm a landscaper, so I'm laid off in the winter time, so I'm able to do that. But if I didn't do that, my family would probably go berserk if I worked on this thing all year long, but we're able to, and people would probably get sick of hearing about it, so it's limited to just a month and a half. I start January 1st, and I reach out to everyone I know, and so far it's worked out like that pretty good.
Right, yeah, I mean, I saw there was a go live, actually by a couple of people, I think, there at the beginning of the event when you made the announcements and, described some of the things that were going on, different rules, things of that nature. And just to see the cameras pan around at all the swag on the tables was phenomenal in its own. Not making light of the fact, though, that up to that point, you and probably quite a handful of other people had been out and seeded 5,000 targets. Did I hear that right?
Yep, you did. 3 a.m, there was 5 of us, and on a pitch black beach. And we each had a couple bags of relics and a couple bags of coins, and we managed to get it all on the ground. But to just give anyone that might not know about the event an idea of how it goes, so you can't purchase tickets for the event. You have to just hit going on the event in Awesome Relics, New England, and then once you do that, you're registered for the event, and you have to bring a $20 or more metal detecting related gift to the event as your admission. And we do a Yankee swap type thing where everyone's name's picked from the bucket, and as your name's picked, you get to pick from the 200 or so gifts that are up on the 10 tables it took this year. And we filled those all up. So no money is brought in from the participants, since they're just bringing that gift that they share with each other. So everything, what makes the hunt unique is that everything to make the hunt possible is all donated. All the prizes, all the coins and the relics that are seeded, all the contests, everything we get is donated for free. And the participants bring the tables and the tents and everything we need, and it really is a group effort by everyone, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, and you're right, that is one very unique thing about the hunt, that nobody's really shelling out money necessarily for registration, and the coolest part is nobody is going to leave empty-handed.
Correct. Yep.
And with your Yankee swap, like you were saying, metal detecting related item, that could be anything from, say, a digger to coin albums to display boxes to, you've even had people bring in, sifters.
Oh yeah. We had we had a nice handmade sifter made by Robert Brock for Yankee Territory Coin Shooters Club out in Wethersfield, Connecticut. But, they donate all sorts of things, all sorts of homemade things and expensive things. There was some detectors on the Yankee swap table. So,
wow.
Yeah, some used detectors, but they're still in working order and great for someone who doesn't have one or needs one. So that's always nice to see up there. So we had 231 participants, active detectorist participants this year, plus guests. So we had probably almost 300 people there. But we had 230 gifts on those 10 tables. So if you were picked, the first 100 or whatever, you got the picks from some nice gifts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I saw them on the video. Some of those looked very, very sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you happen to remember by chance, because this is kind of off the cuff, how many people attended the first penguin dig?
I do. I wrote it down. In 2016, our first year, we had 78 participants. And then the following year, in 2017, we had 131. And then last year, we had 178. And this year, 231. It seems to grow by about 50 members every year.
Right. But that is awesome because it's growing exponentially.
It is.
That is really wonderful.
I feel like we could have actually shared the event more. I actually didn't share it at all. I let everyone else share it because I was starting to think that we might have 500 people there, and the beach just wouldn't have been able to handle all of us. But that was one of the issues this year. There was a lot of people for a small beach area. No one seemed to complain about it, but as I look down the beach and everyone's very close together, it's like, next year will be a much bigger beach, and it'll accommodate all of us better.
Well, you had some kind of last minute wrenches thrown into things too, with the tide bringing up all the seaweed and seagrass onto the beach. It kind of restricted your hunt field a bit, I think.
Well, when we got there at 3 a.m, the seaweed line and the last high tide line, it in some spots went all the way up to the wall. So we were afraid to seed anything and have it lost to sea. So we were really limited to a 50 to 100 feet sometimes width of beach, but it was about 3/4 of a mile. So there was some length to it, and there was a lot of area, and there was 5,000 targets that we buried. So there was a lot out there to keep everybody busy. But I would like a little more spread out would have been nice.
Right. Yeah, especially with incorporating, because there were a couple of things that you had incorporated this year that I don't think you did last year, like the guess the target tent.
Yeah, that went great. That was it was definitely a learning experience for us, because we have some tweaks that we got to work out with that, but that was a ton of fun. My friend Melissa Yingling and Amber Pond ran that, and we had 15 targets hidden underneath frisbees. We duct taped them to the bottom of frisbees, and we spread them out, and we put 5 on 3 sides of the tent, and in front of the 5 targets on the wall of the tent was a poster of the 15 targets. So as you were going over the targets, you could see the images in front of you, and you had to pick which one it was. And you only had 1 minute to do 15 targets, and it was very difficult.
That's a tough run.
It was, because 1 minute goes by fast.
Yeah, I think in the Go Live that I had seen, you had even mentioned you tried it yourself, and you made it, 6 targets through?
Yeah. Yep, that's it. So
man,
the thing to do would just be to just guess as quick as you can. And the winner ended up having, I think it was 6 correct guesses. So it was a difficult contest, but it was fun.
Well, and the way I understand it, there was a nice prize for that, too. What was the prize for the person that had the most correct guesses?
He got to keep all the targets, which were all decent targets. There was the silver round, there was some gold flakes by Barb actually donated those, and there was a Civil War bullet by Riley Bryant in there, and there was Barber half, and there was some nice targets. So the winner got to keep all 15 targets, and he got a pinpointer, a Technetics pinpointer.
Can't beat that. Not a bad deal at all.
No.
I mean, you get the equipment plus all of the finds. Hey, not a bad day.
And we also, one of the things that we messed up on was we were going to have a separate prize for the kids that did it too.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up not separating the names, so we didn't do that. So we gave out the kids' prize a different way.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but
so that must be one of the little hiccups you said. You're right.
Yep. But we also did we matched items to win prizes, which most seated hunts do. We had 25 hidden targets for the adults that matched with really nice prizes like diggers and pinpointers and shovels and pouches. And we also had 20 matched targets for the kids to match up for prizes, which are really great too. And the kids section this year was actually great. It was a lot better this year. Each year we get more kids. I think we had, I don't know, maybe a dozen kids that were digging the whole 3 hours. And I think we had almost 1,000 targets just for those 12 kids. So we made sure that they had a good time, and the prizes for them was great. And I know all of us think the same way when we want to make sure that the kids have a good time at these events. So I believe
1,000 targets. They had to have had a great time. No wonder they were digging for 3 hours.
Yep. And there was some good targets out there too. And the weather cooperated big time with us this year. It was 40 degrees and sunny and a light wind. And, it was cold because you're on the beach, but it could have been a lot worse. So we're very thankful for that. That could really mess us up. The next day it was downpouring rain all day. So if that had been one day later, we would have been in big trouble. Ran and hit probably.
Right. And looks like we've got Leighton himself on with us.
Awesome. I need a little help, Leighton. Thank you.
You don't need any help, buddy.
I'm not nervous at all.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Good to see you, man. Thanks for supporting the Penguin Dig.
You got it, and I can't wait for next year already. Hey, listen, I hope I didn't miss the part because I had to turn down the volume while you guys were still talking about the Frisbee contest and everything, but I had to put my 2 cents in there and give a really big shout out. I don't know if you have said anything about the 50-50 prize.
No, we hadn't got to that yet.
All right. Well, this might be a good time to let that one out of the bag. Holy mackerel.
You mean the cash prize?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about the cash prize, the 50-50, is obviously that half of the money that we get goes towards the cost of the event that's out of pocket, and that helps huge. It allows us to do it every year. And this year we actually had a 50-50 at the meet and greet and at the event. And at the meet and greet, we were able to pay for like 15 boxes of pizza for everybody to have and waters for everybody. So that's a good way that we're able to do that without having to pay for that out of pocket. And like Leighton said, the 50-50 at the event, I think the total money raised, it was $1 a ticket. I think it was $2,200. Yeah. So
wow.
Yep. So half of that we got back for expenses, which was great because we had to spend over $1,000 just to get the beach this year for the insurance and to pay a beach attendant. So right there, that took care of that. And rather than just give out one prize for the 50-50, we give out three. We give out half of half the money, and then second and third also gets half. So someone got $600, and then someone else got $300 and $300, I think it was. So I appreciate everybody's help with that because that went a long way.
That is awesome. Yeah, and you weren't one of those someones, Leighton?
Well,
I'm sure he put in a few dollars.
Yeah, I did. I put in a couple of bucks in there, that's for sure. Listen, when I turned around, I looked at the table, and I saw that whole jar full of tickets. I went, yeah, that ain't going to happen. Not for me. My luck isn't that good. But listen, it's talking about my luck isn't that good. I did walk away with a 50% coupon on the White's metal detector. So, you know what? I think I just might buy myself a nice TDI machine with that.
I saw that. You made out all right.
I did very, very well, yes.
Yeah, with the fines, too.
With the fines. You know, I meant to tell Doug about this. I haven't had a chance to really talk with him since the dig.
Well, you've got a perfect opportunity now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, he wanted help. He's getting it.
Definitely.
I think I dug almost as many targets that weren't buried as I did buried, believe it or not. So There's still a lot of change on that beach. I don't know if it was, from last year or whatever, but I managed a few Canadian coins that I'm sure may have been missed from last season.
It's possible. I could tell by your pile that you had some that were sitting in the sand for a while.
Yeah, quite a while there. Yeah,
some sinkers, and we didn't throw any sinkers in these items. I don't think so.
Yeah, they were in the rocks over there. They were all stuck in the rocks. And then I saw a couple of silver rings that some guys had found that had been sitting around for a little bit of time too. So, hey, you never know. That's part of the dig, right? You could walk away with gold. Look at Angel Morales, right? He ended up with the gold tooth, and we're not sure about the ring, but the gold tooth is definitely real.
Yep. Yeah, I saw some great things posted up that people had recovered, whether they had been seeded or whether they were natural finds. Everybody had a blast.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I can't wait for next year. You know what? You guys killed it. You knocked it out of the park.
I appreciate it. It's really it's a great opportunity for everyone to reunite once a year and be able to see each other, even if it is just that once a year. It's great to be able to catch up. And that meet and greet is a lot of fun, too, because we're out of the weather and you're not trying to swing over each other, and you just get a chance to talk to everybody. And I love that part about it. I'm glad we started that, and we'll continue that next year, too.
Right.
I don't know. I kind of had a good time pushing everybody out of my way. No, I'm only kidding. No, I had a good time.
What, 5,000 targets? They were all digging a little too slow for your liking, huh?
Just a wee bit, yeah.
Well, to be able to get, 230 participants, all a handful of stuff, it's pretty impressive, because we didn't buy one item and everything was donated. We had almost 100 donations, and we had thousands of coins. We had, I think it was 600 silver coins donated by individuals, and that's just out of this world. I could obviously not making any money on the event. We could never afford to buy that kind of stuff, and right. People always say, how come you don't charge and stuff? It's like, I don't even think I could charge enough to buy all this silver. That's this silver that they send. It's all unique stuff that they've dug and they've got in their collection. It's not just, 600 silver dimes. It's pretty special, some of the stuff we get, like Chris Heimsoth. I hope I'm saying that right.
Heimsoth, the great silver hoard.
He sent us a couple silvers from that, and I thought that was so special. I had just read the article in American Digger. That day, I think I received those. I was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe I had those in my hands. I was like, this is pretty special.
Yeah, that had to have been really awesome for you, too. But just finished the article.
He put it in a plastic Ziploc with information on it, so whoever dug that, I didn't see who it was exactly, but they'll know right away that where it's from and everything. So, obviously he must have caught wind that the event is special and he wanted to be part of it, and that's what a lot of people do. There's so many people that send me stuff that don't even come to the dig. I don't even know them, and they're just sending me coins to help make this event great for everybody. And I just want to thank everybody for that, because it's pretty great that they do that.
Right. I mean, you even some, some coins that were 1,500 years old that were found. I saw a few in there.
Yeah, we had a few people it was like 4 or 5 people this year that sent us Roman coins, and a few of them, they sent us like 20 and 30 of them. A few sent us just a couple real nice ones, but the quality of coins out there this year was really great. So even if you only found a few coins, at least you found some decent ones. So
right.
Yeah, I think I even saw a couple of reals too.
Yeah, there was a bunch of reals out there. Someone donated 2 reals. I thought that was cool.
That's very special. Yeah. That's on everybody's bucket list to get Spanish.
No kidding, huh?
Right?
I hope those are all found, because they're gonna dig up that beach if someone finds those things.
Yeah, they were, as far as I know, because I asked around.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were too, because we made some of them prizes and whatnot.
Right.
But all the sponsors we reached out to this year were incredible too. Every single manufacturer I reached out to, metal detector manufacturer reached out to, they sent me something. Not one of them said no. So that was, and they sent it for free. So that was pretty special. And, we were able to give away 5 metal detectors this year.
That is awesome.
That's just totally insane. I mean, and those were good metal detectors. They weren't, they didn't seem like they were the lower end of it either. They were all really, really high-end models as far as I saw.
Yep. And we were able to make up 15 raffle baskets. So everybody that participated in the event, they all got 20 free raffle tickets in their registration packet, and they were able to put a ticket in each raffle basket or put them all in one or whatever. So they were able to participate in 15 free raffles. And the amount of prizes that we gave away afterwards was just crazy. We had a table that was huge, and we just called names at everybody that was there, and first come, first serve.
So were you kind of going, yeah, come on, we got to give this stuff away. I ain't loading it back up and dragging it back home.
Pretty much. We were just throwing hats out into the crowd, and people were catching them, so it was great.
Well, it was very, very well organized, as even from the first one. I mean, I've been to all 4, so I mean, it's it's just getting better and better. And now that you've got a little bit of, I say experience under your belt, I mean, it's just going to be that much easier. And I got to say this before you say it's the last one. Don't ever say it's the last. Because, listen, I'm not putting the heat on you, buddy, but it is what it is. And people love it. And they love you. And they love everything that you and Kevin do and your family and everything. So, you know, I totally get the pressure, but we would certainly hate to see it be the last one next year. Just saying.
I appreciate that. And if it is the last one, which I think it's going to be the last Penguin Dig, I think we'll do something else. But having to depend, you know, what's the worst is depending on the weather.
Right.
Just, you know, if it was a rainy day, cold rainy day, it would just be totally miserable. And I have to worry about that. And
you've been there with it before in past years.
No, we lucked out. Every year has been nice. Every year. We just missed the rain.
I was thinking the one year you had some cold rain come through, but maybe that came through like ahead of time, and then the weather cleared up for you for the event.
I think it came afterwards. It seems every year, the day after, it downpours.
Yeah, it was Sunday, that's for sure. I mean, we just missed it by a few hours.
Yep. We would have been in big trouble. Only the hardcores would have been out there.
Yeah.
I would have been out there digging with y'all trying to scoop stuff up.
So the way it sounds then is if by chance this is the last Penguin Dig, this not by any means that this is the last event by yourself and Awesome Relics New England. We just may be changing things a bit, evolving.
Yep, definitely. And it'll still be in the wintertime because I think that's when Detectors really, you know, they're itching to get out and everything, and there's no events going on in the wintertime in New England, so we won't be competing with any other events. But as far as, you know, I don't know, having it at the beach, I don't know, it's a crapshoot. Until I get that 5,000 targets buried into the sand, my heart is pumping because it's so important.
Right, the clock's ticking.
Yeah, if we don't get that stuff seeded, if there was literally 75 pounds of seeded items to go in the ground this year, so just getting that stuff to the beach is a chore. Never mind having everybody bury it.
I was going to say that explains why you were so white on Friday night.
So I stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning, and we met in the lobby at 2:30 to go see the beach at 3.
That's insane.
Right, so, get everything back home Saturday evening. He went to bed, and he didn't. I wasn't able to contact him until sometime Monday afternoon. I think he was still.
That's sleeping. Right. Yep, I had a sore neck. I don't know, from seating or something. For 2 days, I couldn't look to the right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yep. And you did have some great names there too, among the attendees and the guests.
Yep. Yeah, Jocelyn Elizabeth was there for Garrett and Relic Recoverist, and Garrett sent us a nice Ace 400 on her behalf, so that was great. And Digging with Maddie came down from New Jersey, I think he lives. Yep. And so that was great. And obviously Dave Wise was a big part of it. He's the White's field team member because he's been part of it since the first event too, so that's always been important to me. You know, he's sort of a mentor that I've always looked up to since I started metal detecting 5 years ago. So to have him here was great, and of course a lot of the stealth diggers come too, and that's always special that they contribute to the event by just being there. And actually at the meet and greet, the door to get into the meet and greet, you had about 7 huge dudes with stealth digger shirts on. So I don't think we had any outsiders come into the event that night. Right. You had to get through them, but
Security
it was pretty great.
Had it covered.
Yeah, just Bob Molesky, Eric Mish.
Yeah,
had some good dudes there. Yeah, and people traveled too. What about Becky Mackey traveling from Missouri, flying in? And
I was just going to mention how far away, how many people have come. I mean, you know, there was quite a few people there that showed up from quite a distance. That's for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's good. made it worth her while too. I think she is the one that picked off that amphibio.
Yep, Macro, Nocta Macro donated a nice amphibian machine. I think it was like a $800 machine, and
Those are nice units.
Yeah, so she's got one of those to play with. She'll probably like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to keep an eye out for Chris's next video. She'll probably have it out in that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to. There was a lot of video taken that day. There was some great pictures, obviously. I've already seen all those, but I know there was a lot of videos being shot, and people are probably editing those for this throughout this week. So we'll be looking forward to seeing some of those pop up in the next week or so.
Yeah, I know Miss Detectoress was shooting some video as well. I dropped that in the Awesome Relics New England group shortly after she posted it.
Yeah, I saw that. That was great. And Joey Ortega usually takes some video. And yeah, those are fun usually too. Jocelyn Elizabeth set up a tripod with a camera on it, pointing right at me right before I started talking to everybody. Not like I wasn't nervous enough. So that was great. Thanks a lot, Jocelyn. I appreciate that.
Well, you couldn't tell from watching the Go Lives. You did just fine with the announcements, and very nice touch too. I don't know if that had been done in the past years or not. I may not have caught it or noticed, but very nice touch with doing the Pledge of Allegiance and everything before everything kicked off.
Yeah, that was cool this year. I wanted to do the national anthem in the past. I just we didn't really have the equipment like the sound system and stuff like that. So I thought, what would be a cool way to get everybody involved and to get the kids involved. So I reached out to all the parents and the guardians of all the kids that were attending the dig, and every single one I reached out to and asked if they would do the Pledge of Allegiance. They were all excited about it. So right when we kicked off the event, I think we had like 10 of the kids stand around in a circle. We did a moment of silence, and then they did the Pledge of Allegiance, and that was pretty special. That was great.
Yeah, absolutely. And the moment of silence was also a very nice touch too, I thought.
Yep. And we brought in an American flag this year. And our plan was Cheyenne Lowell. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's got a really nice drone. And we got a small American flag, and we're going to put it on the American flag and fly it over everybody. But he said there was all the 200 detectors there were messing his drone up, so we weren't able to do that. But that would have been cool.
That would have been really cool. I didn't know that you guys tried that. That would have been awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Next year.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe you can do it. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can do it just prior to, or whatever.
Well, I always joke with my friend George Delaney. I said this event's going to get so big that we're going to have an Air Force flyover one of these days. And so that's what made me think, we could fly the drone over with a flag. Wouldn't that be awesome when the kids are saying the Pledge of Allegiance? But it didn't happen. So.
Right. Give it another 10 years, he'll have the Blue Angels on call or something.
That's right.
That would be cool.
I'm hoping to get
how you gonna
visit too.
There you go. I was gonna say, I don't know how you're gonna outdo yourself next year, but I mean, it can only get bigger and better as far as I'm concerned. So, I guess all I can think of is that maybe the donations will get even bigger, and it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, I believe they will, and I hope that's my my wish, if anything, from the people that attend, is donate if you can, because obviously you see all the stuff we put in the sand. Every single last item goes out there. I hope by now everyone can trust me, and you see everybody gets a lot of stuff. So it's all in the ground. And if anybody had an issue this year of it being too crowded or not enough beach, I promise those things will be addressed next year, and the beach will be huge, and I won't have to turn anyone away. And if we have 400 people next year, we'll be ready for that 400 people, and it's going to be awesome. And I hope everybody comes, because it might be the last year, but if it is, we're definitely going to go away with a bang. It's going to be great.
I think that we ought to get Josh over here somehow. What do you think, Doug?
So. That'd be super, man. I hope to get a lot of
excuses.
Yep.
Right. No more excuses on his behalf.
Yeah, I already got the date. It's February 22nd, so
There you go.
go get your tickets.
There you go. That'd be awesome.
There you go.
Yep.
I know I got to
Definitely.
meet a few new people that I've always, talked to here and there, and I know Sheldon's in the chat right now. I got a chance to meet with him, and a few of the stealth diggers that, like you said, that showed up I haven't met before, and you talk to these people, and that's the whole idea, the camaraderie, and get to know who you're actually behind the name. That's the fun part about it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Putting a face to the name, so to speak.
Right. Exactly.
When Kevin and I started this, 4 years ago, both of us were new in the hobby, and we saw everybody's post, and we're like, wow, we're never going to get to meet these guys. We're nobodies in this hobby, and how can we do that? And so that's what we thought of, and a way to get to meet these guys was to try to create an event that's going to be awesome enough for them to want to come, and we did that successfully. And the whole gift swap thing is, we wanted everybody to be able to go home with something, so that's what we thought of in that area, and so everyone gets to go home with something, a nice prize, and it's working out.
Well, not only did you do it successfully, you guys went above and beyond and exceeding, I do believe.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do it without, the generosity of everybody. People were giving me cash. People were just walking up to me and handing me $20 bills, and it's like, you don't know how much that helps. That allows me to continue with this. I don't have to spend $2,000 out of my own pocket to make this happen. I'm pretty sure I probably broke even this year with all the money that we raised. We did a quilt fundraiser that Robin Rivera donated to our club towards the Penguin Dig. That raised $500 for me. That was huge. So, and the 2 50/50s, and we had some cash donations. So, and it allows me to keep going and allows, my wife not to tell me to stop doing this.
Oh, here's another thing too. People don't probably realize. I know you kind of mentioned it, but maybe people aren't really adding it up a little bit. But here's a little bit of food for thought. You said there was, just shy of 250, give or take 20 people or so, times $20 gifts, and much of them were much more, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at almost $5,000 in just gifts sitting on the table that get right back to the people that brought them. So, I mean, that's a whole lot of dough right there, $5,000.
Yeah.
That's without anything else, just the gifts.
Yep.
Insane.
Yeah, and I was counting up some of the donations from the manufacturers, and it was like half of them, the stuff that they sent amounted to like $1,000, and it's like,
Sure.
The groups, the dig's growing in popularity, and a lot of them manufacturers are hearing about it, and a lot of the people that represent those detectors, they're speaking good things about the Penguin Dig, and so each year they send more and more, and they're all sending detectors now, which is great, and we have a lot of great giveaways that we can do.
So are you saying that, did you actually add up everything just for giggles to see what everything, between all the gifts and everything and just kind of, and all the donations? I mean, where do you roughly put it at? I mean, it's
I really didn't do that. I probably should have did that because it would have been an impressive number, but, mainly the individual donations, like, just yourself, Leighton, how you ended up sending me another package because you didn't think that first package was enough, which it was by far enough. Some people sent me one silver dime, and that donation is just as great as the person who sends me 20 silver dimes, because
Sure.
a little from everyone, goes a long way. So,
Right.
So that, I just asked that people could just send me, a coin or two, and that's more than we could hope for. And my mailman probably hated me for a month and a half. We got a lot of packages every day. Every day I was getting 5 or 6 packages. I mean it, for like a month and a half straight. Every day I was getting packages. So.
Right, your postman's going, "You're killing me, Doug."
Yeah, he said I have to use the P.O. box next year, so that's easy enough. He's right down the street, so I'll be doing that.
There you go. That's awesome. Well, that's good. I'm so glad everything turned out very well. And honestly, this is the God's honest truth. I didn't hear one complaint, not one negativity comment, nothing. Other than that, it was a little bit chilly. That would have been about as far as any negativity went. But that was it.
That was the same thing I was telling Doug before we went live, was that I was talking to someone today, and last weekend was the 4th penguin dig, and I have yet in 4 years to find one person with one bad thing to say about it. That's why we support the event.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And all the people that thank me on Facebook, and they thank Kevin and my family, and we really appreciate that. I end up feeling kind of bad that everybody's thanking me for this, but, you know, I do it just, you know, for the camaraderie of it, and it really is rewarding for us, you know, in so many ways. Just every day when I get those packages in the mail, it's unbelievable sometimes. The coins that these people are sending me, and the relics that they've dug up, and the coins that they've dug up, and some of these, like Josh, you know, you mentioned it on your show. I chatted in about the event, and that evening I have 5 or 6 guys that are on your show all the time that I don't even know, and they're sending me packages the next day. It's like, you know, it's that kind of just generosity that, you know, it allows us to keep going with this unique event and making it bigger and better every year, and being able to accommodate so many people. It's not easy to put a handful of coins in 230 people's hands, you know, so I can't believe it. I really can't.
Believe it or not, I mean,
that sounds like a daunting task on this end.
It can be in the beginning.
And here's the other aspect of this too. You know, you don't realize it till you start, you know, like this after the fact. A lot of these coins are not available to us in the United States. So to dig a Roman coin, even though it's been seeded, is a pretty cool thing if you think about it. I mean, you know, at one time it was in the ground. They appeared to have been dug. And, you know, we just don't get a chance to dig that kind of stuff. So, you know, whether it be a foreign coin or whatever, I know there was quite a few of those. But you know what? You just don't get that chance. So they look pretty cool when they're all in a little display case, as far as I'm concerned.
You know, that's a good point. Usually when I send out a package to the Penguin Dig, I'll send a handful of coins along too. But normally I just send foreign coins because it's, you know, it's something different for people to dig up.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah, we had all kinds. We had a whole mess of different kinds of coins, you know, foreign coins and all kinds of nickels and American coins, and you know, I didn't tell people that they couldn't send anything in. Obviously, just no clad. I can't stand digging clad, so we made sure. Obviously, the foreign coins might be considered clad or whatever, but no American clad. I went to a seated event one time where the guy, he seeded his whole piggy bank, and I found like $10 in clad, and I wanted to rip my head off. So I make sure that doesn't happen. But
right.
But that makes
you know,
sense.
There's a few hundred like Wheaties in there, but when you divide that up among 230 people, you know, those 300 or 400 Wheaties, you know, you're only going to get a few each, so it's not overwhelming for people.
Right. And for some people, who knows, maybe they don't have the opportunity, although I'm not sure how they don't have the opportunity to find a wheat penny somewhere else, but you never know. For some people, they may not. We've got a caller. How's it going, Chuck?
Pretty good, Josh. It sounds like you had a great time out there. I wish I could have made that. I don't know enough about it, being out here in the frozen plains of the Midwest, other than to listen to you, Doug, and see Kevin talking about it, and Leighton. And it sounds like fun. 40 degrees is probably 60 degrees warmer than it was here. So, this has been a rough winter. But remind us ahead of time and get that address to send out stuff, you know, through Josh here, and because Mark and I both, I just sent you something, and then all of a sudden it's there. You're doing it, and I'm going, well, darn, I wish I'd known a little more, and this is a good way to know more about it. I would like to come to that. Next year, I will have the availability to be out roaming around a little more, because a few of the things I'm doing, I'm trimming back on some of it. And if you contact me, get a hold of me next year, you're in for Gold Nugget.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. Awesome. Well, that's the
Leighton's
thing.
never dug one of those, I don't think.
No, I haven't.
Well, each year we
the
reach
closest-
more people every year, so that's the good
And
thing.
it won't be a flake, it'll be a nugget. It'll be something they can put on a pendant.
Right on.
Hey, the closest thing I've ever dug to a nugget would have been, probably a gold tooth. That's the closest I've
Well,
You've
that
dug
is kind
some-
of a nugget. That's kind of, I've dug a parcel from out in the river out here, and they're nasty.
Yeah.
But it
You've
had
dug
gold in
some.
it, so it was a find. But it's like, oh my God, really?
You've dug some chunkers of gold rings, though, Leighton.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yes,
I'd consider
yeah.
those. I don't know if I'd consider those nuggets, though.
Close enough.
Well,
Yeah.
they're chunkers.
Well, that would be a lot of fun. Maybe I can make the trip down there. And it'll be around the 22nd of February again, Doug.
Yes, sir. It's always the last Saturday in February, which is the 22nd.
Last Saturday in February. That sounds like a good way to get out of the cold.
It
At
is.
least 40
I
degrees.
better check that date because that might have actually pushed it to the very last day of the month. But it is the last Saturday in February. So
Okay.
Yep.
That would be a lot of fun. I salute you for having a good hunt. That sounds like a good setup. And relying on your 50-50, that's a good way to pay for some of that. And that's good. And they're all paying attention to you. And you've done well. I ran hunts when I was working with Mine Lab. And that's intense when you got 400 or more people and you're trying to make them all happy. And sometimes it just don't work.
Yep. Hopefully we'll keep going, man.
All right.
Right.
Well,
All right, thank you.
sounds like a great one. And if you contact me then and remind me, that's the whole thing. We get so much going on. You're in for that. I was thinking maybe it'd be two, but something to find that would be different, that would be good.
Awesome.
Well,
I
I
wrote
can
it down,
certainly
so
do
you
what
have
I
to fix
can to keep you appraised there, Chuck, because much like this year, we were announcing it ahead of time, but I can only let the word out as soon as I know, and sometimes I don't even know until it's real close.
Yeah, it gives me a chance to get to go hang out with Leighton some more.
There you go. Looking forward to it. I haven't seen you in a
Been a
long time.
while, hasn't it, Leighton?
Yeah, it's been a long time. Too long.
Yeah,
Last
we
time
got to do it
was-
again.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll back out of here and congrats on a great hunt.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for
You're
the call,
welcome.
Chuck.
Bye-bye. See you, Josh.
Yes.
Leighton,
So
stay out of trouble.
I'll try.
you know what he said.
Bye-bye.
What he said about not knowing about the event, I take a little responsibility in that because, like I said, towards the last couple weeks of the event, everybody wanted to go, and it's like I could have shared it everywhere and got 500 people there if I wanted, but I asked everybody to stop sharing it. That's how
Yes, you
nervous
did.
I was getting.
Yes, you did.
On more than one occasion, I might add, I
Yep.
do believe.
Yeah. Stop.
Right,
It's all
because
good.
it's like, hey, whoa, and then 6 more people share it. I said, whoa.
Yeah, but that drives me crazy when I have to do that because the whole idea for me was just to be able to give everybody the opportunity to come and meet these New England diggers and get to know everybody. So for me to tell somebody that there's not enough room for them, that was hard for me. I don't like doing that, and that won't happen again. So
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, though. You want to make sure there's enough items in the ground, enough space for everybody, stuff like that. And you can only work with what you've got at your disposal at the time.
yeah, and another thing is because there was 230 participants, we do that Yankee swap. We have to call 230 names to go pick from that table. So if there's 400 people there, that's a lot more time that's going to take. And like I said, you don't know what the weather's going to be like. You don't know if all these people are going to be freezing to death out there. So, but miraculously, we got through it. We stopped digging and started the prizes and lunch at 12 o'clock. And at 1:38, I looked at my watch and we were done. So we went through all those prizes and raffles and Yankee swap, everything in an hour and a half. So
That's not bad.
Yep, we
Well,
breezed through.
I think a good thing that you did this year that you didn't do last year, or maybe I didn't pay attention last year, but I think this year you did when you called people up to the table instead of one name at a time, 10 at a time. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That made that thing go fast.
It really did.
That is a good point. That would speed things up dramatically.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, you're only, and it kind of pushes people along too. When you know you've got 8 or 9 people in back of you, if you're one of the first ones to get up there to pick from, it kind of moves things much further along faster and gets you giddy up and going. That's for sure.
Yeah, it makes them pick something from the table a little faster, which is hard, but we give everybody the opportunity to look at what's up there ahead of time. That way they have a little bit of an idea of what they might want to grab when it becomes their turn. Because you'll be a little baffled when you get to choose from 230 gifts up there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you don't know what to choose from, that's for sure.
Yeah, so many choices.
Yep.
And you had a very nice pouch that you had donated this year, if I remember correctly, Leighton.
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Guess who ended up with that?
Gee, let me guess. Would that be a dog?
It was 2 days ago. I went through the leftover remaining Yankee swap gifts that didn't get picked. And there was 3 or 4 of them, and one of them was the apron that Leighton had made up with the Penguin Dig logo and the 2019 on there. And I tell you what, I was happy to see that because nobody's going to appreciate that thing more than I am. And I'm actually going to use that to seed with next year because it's got huge pockets.
Yeah, it does.
Nice and it's heavy, durably made. So I'm going to fill that up with coins and relics next year when I'm seeding the beach, and that'll probably be my for years to come. Thank you for that.
Of course it's got huge pockets. Leighton had that thing made up, and he likes his pouches large.
I saw the receipt in there, too. It was $40 for that bad boy.
You got that right. I was going to ask you if you looked in the pocket. I left it in there.
I did. I was looking for some gold rings in there, but I found the receipt.
Yeah, nice try. I'm nice, but not that nice.
It was a very, very sharp looking pouch, though.
Yeah.
It was very good. My daughter actually works at an embroidery company, and I kind of sniffed out the logo of the penguin and with the little metal detector. And what was his name on the front of his hat? I forget.
Oh,
Teddy?
No, it's the abbreviation for Awesome Relics New England, Arnie.
Oh, okay. So that's what was on the front.
ARNE. Yep.
Yeah, so we kind of stole that from you there, Doug. Sorry about that, but
that's good. That's good.
And I had her send it out. We had it digitized, and then we put it into the machine, and voila, there you go. If I had known that you were going to get it, I would have had your name put on it.
Hey, maybe I still can do that.
You can still do that. You let me know.
That's right.
I'll ever do it for you.
I could do it too.
No problem.
But, my buddy John Ledger actually creates our logo for us every year, and he always does a super good job with that. Yeah. And every year he turns the snowflakes on the logo into something cool that people won't recognize at first. And,
I didn't recognize it at all.
Yeah. Last year he made it out of anchors, and they're little Navy anchors. And this year I actually asked Leighton if he recognized it, and he couldn't figure it out until I pointed it out. But they're made of oxen shoes put together to create snowflakes.
Yeah, and thanks for the no hints either, buddy.
Yeah, well, I really thought you'd figure that out.
Well, when you said I dug many of them, well, yeah, I guess I have, but I never thought about an ox shoe. I'm thinking, right. Indians or, stars or coins or
gold rings.
That's where my mind is going. Yeah, rings, but never even crossed my mind to think of the ox shoes. But when you look really close at the logo, yeah, for sure, the stars in the background around the penguin are definitely ox shoes. That's cool.
You have dug some of them, right?
Just a couple.
Really?
Just a couple. No.
More than he wants to admit.
I know you're good at discriminating things, but everybody gets fooled once in a while around here with those darn things.
The day I hunted with you a few weeks back and I fell, remember when I came out of the woods?
Oh, yes. Yep.
I had 3 in my pocket. I was ashamed to show them to you.
Oh. You wiped out hard, Leighton. That was a bad fall.
That was. Yeah, that was really bad. In fact, I didn't realize I broke my metal detector until I got home.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I had it was stuck to my arm. Remember, I had my arm inside the sling, but the stand that the CTX has on the bottom, the foot, that actually cracked off and broke right off. I didn't realize.
Bummer.
But Mind Lab was nice enough to send out a new one, and I just put it on myself. So that certainly helped me out there. So little shout out to Mind Lab there for helping me out.
Nice.
It could have been worse that fall for sure. Oh, I thought we were carrying you to the truck.
Yeah, I know. I jammed up my hand and my wrist that day. That wasn't good. Yeah.
That was a fun time, though, man. Fun time.
Yeah, of course it was. It's always fun getting together with you. Are you kidding me? So you got to come this way now. I heard you're all equipped and you got waders and you're all ready to go.
Oh yeah, I got some waders. I'm ready.
All right, good deal.
Nice wave will fill in my waders and I'll be washed out to sea.
I hope not. That's why you wear a belt, just in case.
It's a good idea.
Well, you know, Leighton does like to do what he can to keep the competition down.
Yeah,
right, exactly. It's kind of like diving with your buddy. You always bring a knife with you, right? Just in case there's sharks around.
Just in case the shark's hungry.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, we're looking forward to getting you this way. We'll get you out here. When it warms just a hair. I don't want to freeze you to death right up front.
I appreciate the help with the CTX too. I've only had that for like 6 months now, so that's a whole new ball game for me. But I appreciate the help.
Yeah, no problem. I hope I was able to pass on a little bit of knowledge there. And when you come this way, if you'd like, I'll put that special program there that I have made myself on there for you, and that might even help you a little further down the line too.
Just knowing what the numbers are is a big help, you know. How many numbers did I run by you? That's what's a 32? What's a 34? You know, what's 11? What's 12?
Well, and apparently it was a help because you've been slaying it with the CTX.
I have. I found my first Fujio finally. That was an amazing find.
That is an amazing find. Congratulations.
I wanted those real bad, so knocked that off the bucket list. I was with Danny LaMontagne on one of his sites, and
nice.
I was all by myself, like a mile from them guys. So I screamed, but nobody heard me, and jumped around like a crazy guy.
That's okay.
Yep, it was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Now it's who knows, maybe a GW button next, or
I got one of those. I got one. Yep, already.
Nice.
Yep.
That's good. That's one thing I don't have.
Gold coin, that's what I want, and a Morgan dollar. Really want a Morgan dollar.
You'll find him. I found a few of them more. So.
Yeah.
I know I will. Of course, I want a pine tree too.
You'll get your coil over it sooner or later.
Yep.
In fact, I actually have one of my Morgan dollars on live video that I was digging at a farm field. And if you go to my YouTube channel under Leighton Harrington, you'll see it. It's quite. Let's put it this way: there was a lot of bleeping going on when I made that video.
That was your first one?
No, that was
just one of them.
Just one of them. Yeah, that one wasn't the first one, but it was a tricky signal, and there was actually two signals in the same hole. And the first signal that I got actually happened to be a sinker in a farm. Wow. I said, I can't get away from these damn things.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, I was in somebody's yard. And then down in the hole, underneath a root, I think it was the Morgan dollar. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. And as far as gold coins go, I actually got one of those after Sandy went through back in 2012 out in Rhode Island, as a matter of fact.
Wow. On the beach?
Out in the water, yes.
Wow.
That's
incredible.
It's worn, but it still counts.
Oh.
Yeah. She's a pretty little girl, that's for sure. $1 gold piece. Thing's tiny, smaller than like your baby pinky fingernail. Tiny.
Wow.
Yeah,
they're incredible.
They're not very big at all. I want to say actually they're about the same size, maybe even a little smaller actually than the 10th ounce gold pieces.
Yeah, they're a little bit smaller. Yeah, diameter wise. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. One's important about mine is that it just so happens to be a Charlotte, North Carolina mint, which is very rare. There was only about 3,000 to 5,000 of them made, I think, so that particular year. So that was a very special coin. In fact, it was actually found out where the erosion was. I actually came in because I had a high tone and I plopped the sand on the ground up away from the waves, and I got a standing Liberty quarter. I went back out. Obviously, we always check our holes, and I had another foil sound, and I dug another one. I checked the hole. I had it in my scoop, plopped it back out on the sand, and it was laying right on top of the sand, $1. So there was 2 coins in that same hole.
Wow.
Nice.
What year was it?
I think it was a 1853. Yeah.
Dang, that's wonderful,
If I
man.
remember correctly, yeah.
It is very cool to see. You'll have to check that out sometime, Doug.
Yeah. Kevin and I got to witness an 1812 $5 gold piece by Willie Beeman pulled out. He pulled out 5 silver coins and that gold coin all in one hole. I videoed it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's on the side of a sidewalk, wasn't it?
It was right in between a yard and a road. Yep.
Wow. Huh.
It was real close to the road. It was unbelievable. That coin was beautiful. It looked like it came right out of the mint. It was gorgeous. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Gold is gold. It stays like that for 3, 4, 5, 600 years, 1,000 years, whatever.
Crazy. I know there's more out there for me. I got to get mine.
Well, there is. There is absolutely more out there. I mean, it's never hunted. That's for sure. Eventually this is what happens. Everybody cherry picks nowadays, and then, after things kind of slow down a little bit and you keep going over the same areas, you start digging everything, and that's when things start popping. It's not because it wasn't there before. It's just that now you're not so choosy as to what you're digging, and that's what happens.
Or you're paying more attention and moving slower.
Right.
I never realized before, too, that if you got a big hunk of iron or something, it really will mask something good that's underneath it.
Yes, it will.
Recently I've been, getting rid of some nails here and there, and then all of a sudden I'll go over the same hole and I'll get a good target that was not there before until I got rid of that crappy nail out of the way that totally eliminated that hit. So that's something I've learned recently, and so it pays to get rid of that junk sometimes. And
Absolutely it does.
Here's a perfect example. I was hunting with Carol Rio, which we all know who she is. We were at a farm field a few years back, and in an area that had produced Spanish silver over the years prior to me actually learning about the place. So we just didn't have anywhere to go, and we went back to the place and just poked around all day. We had a couple of buttons here or there, and she was in the back field. I was in the front field, not too far. As a matter of fact, I was ready to leave and got a kind of squeaky one-way sound, high tone, blah, blah, blah. I dug the hole. It was about 8 or 9 inches deep, and I had pulled out 7 rusty nails, square nails. It had been right on the side of the house where it had burnt down originally in the front field. And lo and behold, after I pulled the 7 nails out, I couldn't believe the big, thick, fat rim that I saw that was silver. I thought for sure it was Spanish, but it ended up being, I didn't know what it was until I called Carol over because I wanted her to witness it at the time. So I'm screaming and she come running over from the back field. I pulled out an 1833 cap bust $50. I could not believe it.
Wow.
In the same, all the 7 nails, the square nails. So,
you'd think that signal would overpower those nails, but it didn't, right?
It did not, no. But the problem with the detects, as everybody knows who has one, if you even go over a square nail or a burnt nail or something that's been heated or something that's got a big head on the top of it, it'll sound just like silver. Right. So they're notoriously, and especially in them 2 fields, I can't tell you how many I'd found that day, and that's why I was on my way out. But it just so happened, you never know, and that happened to be in the same hole.
Well, and not to mention the fact with that many nails in the hole as well, you figure that's a lot of iron leaching into the ground and putting off quite a halo.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, you never know. Stick with it, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it is never hunted out. I know we say that, time and time and time again, but again, after a while, when you feel like the place has been kind of pounded to the end, to the death of it, you still pop something now and then. And I'll tell you, the two best times are in the spring and in the fall. And obviously, we all know that secret is that, the water has been seeping in over the winter, and in the frost heaves do bring that coin that's wet like ice. It expands and it brings it up a little bit closer to the surface. Not a lot, but maybe just enough that maybe you wouldn't have gotten it in the summer because you've got to add grass or wheat or whatever it is, soybean, whatever that's growing on the top. That also gets you away from, the closer to the coin, the better, obviously. So, there's a few factors that you can plug into it, and then it's definitely a help in the spring. I love springtime hunting. That's the time when I do my best.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, I got plenty of moisture in the ground here.
It's snowing here in New England right now. It's coming down.
Yeah, well, you guys got another batch coming because we got some coming this weekend, and we'll send it right along your way.
Yep, that's what I heard.
I'm hearing 3 to 5 tonight in my area. I don't know about you, Doug, over that way.
Same thing, yeah. And the woods are just really frozen right now. It's not like it's been the last couple of years. The last couple of years I dug all winter, and this year I'm attempting to, but I'm chipping through some ice, and it's been trouble.
Yeah, it's tough.
Really,
there's no happy medium. It gets real cold at night, below the 32 mark, and then it warms up in the day. So then the following night you think that, maybe I can get out tomorrow, or the following day. No go.
Yep, that was supposed to go out tomorrow actually, and then we got this storm. So I don't know what I was going to hit out there, but I was going to try it.
And not a whole lot, like you said. You'll be chipping through if you can chip through at all.
Yep,
it isn't worth it. I'll just wait. I'll just poke around in the office and look through some of the stuff that I've gotten, and then that's about as good as it gets.
Well, and if you can't get to it right now, no biggie. It'll be there when you can, when the weather gets nicer.
Yeah, I'm off all winter though, so this is my digging time right now, and I'm losing it, so I got to get out there.
Well, the next best thing, do the beaches, and that's what I end up doing. With the I'm sure you saw the post I had there a couple days back when I got 2 U.S. buttons. So, that's what you got to do. You got to get down in the water or around the water. And even that sometimes can be frozen. If the tide takes a long time to go out and recede, that wet sand will be frozen. You can't even dig that. So you got to really get close to the water.
Yep.
So
yeah, absolutely.
It's been an exceptionally cold winter.
Yep.
Well, that's what we're dealing with all over. It seems like that polar vortex that came through a couple of weeks ago was horrendous, and it sounds like there's a possibility we've got some high winds and more extreme wind chills coming this weekend.
Ugh.
Good stuff. Well, the 2-week forecast didn't look good at all.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, the weatherman's being Johnny Raincloud.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, well, I can live with the rain. I just, I've had enough of I only got to plow once this year. I don't know about, are you plowing, Doug, or no?
No, I'm not this year, nope.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I've had enough of the cold. I've had enough of all of that, so I'm looking forward to the spring.
And how?
I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were saying that they already had some peepers. Spring peepers, so that's good.
I saw that. I saw some things popping up in people's gardens too. That's a good sign too.
Yeah.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come just like that. It's gonna be 70 and then 80 and then 90.
Right. Yeah. I hear spring is just around the corner. It's just waiting for it to get here.
Well, my daffodils are already poking the ground out in the front, and some of my crocus tips I can already see. So. Yeah, it's going to happen probably in the next few weeks, I would imagine.
Yeah, for us cellar hole diggers, all that skunk cabbage will be popping up too. That's takes out there, let me tell you.
Yeah, right? I'm certainly hoping the weather turns nice soon, because the weather now, Mother Nature clearly does not like me.
or us.
Yeah.
You guys got hit pretty hard this year. I mean, as far as, I don't know about snow out there, Josh, but I know that as far as cold weather, well, you guys were under some serious minus temperatures there.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to deal with it on so many different levels now that it's not even funny. But, we're getting through it. We're counting the days to spring.
Yeah, I remember you pissing and moaning a couple of years ago about your AC going out. Now how's that feel?
Well, actually, comically enough, last year we had a guy come in and recharge it right before cooling season. And
just in time for winter.
No, we had it charged for cooling season, and it lasted all of about 2 months before it went out. So yeah, that was a little rough, but we made changes and found ways to get by.
Right. That's not a AC/heater too, is it? Or is it just what do you got,
yeah.
umbrella? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
not sure what we're going to do about that, but that's a bridge to cross when we get there.
Right. Well, hopefully it'll be a better year. We won't have to worry about that. No matter where you live, if you live in Florida, it's too humid. If you live up here, it's too cold. You live out west, it's a lot of snow. I guess Oregon got really blasted last few days. So.
Oh yeah, and Minnesota too.
Yeah. Ken just said that it's 73 and muggy in Tennessee today. Oh my God. Stop it. I want to go.
I want 70s so bad.
Right. The weather's beautiful.
Yeah.
Soon enough, everybody's itching to get out. So once the weather turns, man, we're going to have a whole bunch of people posting their awesome finds, and it's going to be great.
Right.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I hope I can, teach you a little more with that CTX. I'm sure that, it's a learning curve for you, but like I told everybody before, a lot of people ask me my opinion on certain things, and I'm a three-way person with the CTX. Real quickly, basically, it's tone first. If it sounds good, I stop. Second, if it's not 7 inches or more, I'm not digging it because I'm like you. I am not digging clad if I can help it. Not that that's a bad thing, because it certainly helps with the gas at the end of the year. But the only exception I make to digging 7 or less is if I know it's a quarter, and then I'll dig it. And then I look at my numbers. If I look at my numbers and I'm happy with it and everything's kind of to the right side of the screen, I'm on my knees fast like a woodchuck. So, those are the 3 things I do: tone, depth, and then I'll look at the numbers.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So hopefully that will help you out in your adventures there. And then, I can go a little further, that's for sure.
Audio always wins out over VDI. Trust your ears.
Absolutely. Yeah. If it sounds good, dig it. If it's 7 inches or more, dig it, because, it takes a long time for those coins to get down that deep. And, I'm not necessarily like you, not looking for the clad or the newer stuff. Not to say that when you're on the beach, throw that whole thing out the window. Right. You're going to dig stuff that's only 2 inches if there's been a blow, and you're in the rocks or whatever. But mainly in parks or private properties, 7 inches or more. Otherwise, I'm going to dig it. It's not, to me, not worth it.
Right.
To me, personally. So.
Nice. Well, you definitely did quite the job with the penguin dig again this year, Doug. Hats off to you and all others that were involved behind the scenes.
I appreciate that. If you don't mind, I just want to run a couple names that really helped me out with the dig. They're probably listening. My buddy Rick Yingling, he helped me seed the beach this year, and I know that was a lot to ask of him because we were up at the meet and greet. But it's always a good time. My sister Pam and her daughter Nina, my niece, they get out of bed to come and meet me there at 3 a.m. And Kevin, obviously, my co-host for the event, the 5 of us seeded the beach this year, and that's a good time out there. It's pitch black, and it's an experience, and I'm sure they're all glad that they do it with me because it's fun and it's rewarding. But and Melissa Yingling and Amber Pond did the Guess the Target. And my sister Trisha and my wife Cheryl did the registration. And my daughter Emily and Ashley, both of them did the 50-50. And we had our friend Bella Digger standing behind the raffles this year to explain any questions to anybody, answers to any questions that people may have had. And my buddy Dave Krasnecki set up the Guess the Target contest. So, and Elizabeth helped with the child section to make sure none of the adult diggers were sneaking in there like they always try to do. And Sarah Delage helped us out a lot with all the registration too. So thanks to all of them. They were really important. I couldn't get it done without them. And everybody else that donated, again, thank you so much. And please look for my request next year for donations. And don't ever think your donation is too small, even just a coin or two.
Right.
Cents, just a silver dime. Somebody will be thrilled to dig that. I know I would be. And I think people know that with all the amount of donations I got. But each year we get more and more because more people hear about it. So I look forward to that next year, and hopefully we have 10,000 targets next year and 400 people to give them to. And I assure everyone that, if we have 400 people there, we're going to make sure that it's run smoothly like we do every year, and it's going to go quickly, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So
nice.
Hope they all come back out. And thank you, Josh, for letting me come on the show, too. I appreciate that.
Well, see, and that's just case in point. No donation is too small. He even makes room for me to donate.
That's right. That's right. That was a great shirt you gave, too. Somebody, I didn't see who got that because I put it in that bag that you sent, too. So I didn't get to see it get handed out, but someone's wearing that shirt. Some lucky person.
So somebody had a little extra surprise.
Oh, yeah, they did, because I put a whole bunch of stuff in there, so made a bunch of stuff.
Wasn't there a girl named Maya that had one on?
Yep, she was on the show. That's how she got hers. Yep.
That was Miss Detectorist. She was out sporting her Beyond Sight and Sound hoodie.
Mm-hmm. She did great.
But then
listen, while I've got you both attention, it's been a pleasure. I'm out of here. Doug, good job. Josh, I'll talk to you soon. Kevin and everybody else, from my house to yours, keep it low, keep it slow, and I'll catch you guys later, all right?
All right, thanks for the call, Lee.
All right. Yeah, have a good one. Good night, guys.
We'll see you. I did notice, though, there was one thing missing from the Penguin Dig this year.
Uh-oh.
You didn't have your Beyond Sight and Sound shirt.
Oh, no, I didn't. No.
So we're going to have to fix that. Give me your address and your shirt size, and we'll get one out to you.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. That'd be great. I'll wear that baby with pride.
Well, there you go. And when it comes in, don't forget and post up pictures on the Beyond Sight and Sound group. Like I said, it may not be anything big, but we're trying to get something small together as a thank you for those that have them.
Absolutely, man. I enjoy your show every week. Unfortunately, my wife likes to prepare dinner right around 8 o'clock. I know that's late, but so sometimes it's right at dinner time and I miss it, but I usually catch it the next day or whatever. And it's always great to learn all the new guests you have on there, and it's good for the detecting community. You do a good job.
Well, we try to do what we can, and that's what archives are for. I mean, the last few weeks, actually, I've been communicating with a gentleman in the UK that's what he does is while he's at work, he listens to archives of Beyond Sight and Sound. And it's just been really interesting talking with him. He's a truck driver in the UK, but he's from Portugal. Really, really an interesting gentleman to talk with. He's got the British accent and everything, but he's from Portugal.
Wow. Probably learns a lot from your show too. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he says he's really enjoying it, and he's actually currently shopping for another machine. So he's been listening, hearing about, latest and greatest out there, what the good reports are coming from as far as what machines, and trying to make as informed of an opinion as possible before he takes the plunge.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. So you have been an absolute pleasure, as always, Doug. Like I said, get that shirt size and address out to me, and we'll see what we can do about getting a Beyond Sight and Sound shirt out to you.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
Not a problem. You have a wonderful night, sir.
You too. Thank you.
We'll see you.
All right, bye.
So, yes, Doug Bowden, the Penguin Dig, man, I'm telling you what, puts on such a great event with him and everyone else behind the scenes. Wonderful job again. Hats off to everyone that were involved behind the scenes, because a lot of people don't take into consideration to pull off an event like this. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that people don't necessarily realize. And a lot of people that, may not get much credit about it because nobody knows that they were there, they were involved or whatever, which is another cool thing. Doug does like to try and mention all of those that were involved. And obviously on this scale, sometimes you can't remember everyone when it comes right down to it, and you're trying to make sure everyone gets named or gets recognized or whatever, but he does a very good job about it, and going above and beyond in mentioning, there were so many other people involved, people that made donations, the manufacturers, things like that. So definitely a very, very good event once again this year. Continued success to them as we move forward, and we'll have to see what next year brings. Going to be very, very interesting to see. And we'll have to see what the next shows bring for us. The way it sounds, hopefully, as long as Mother Nature doesn't blow us off the grid this weekend, we may be back with Coin Rings by Sully this weekend. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, time will tell. And coming up, we'll be hearing more about recoveries and water and reals and all that good stuff that we all like to dream about, and some really amazing stories hopefully in the very near future. So until the next time, obviously check out our friends at Shooters and Prospectors, Extreme Scoops, XP Team USA, Dirt Pirates Detecting, our friends over at DETECTEES.com, Ken, Mark, Darth, and Buddy. They're all doing a great job over there, and everybody, is really keeping them busy. That's great. That's good. Definitely. So until the next time, we're going to have to roll. We'll see you all on the pages. If you can get out and find something, get out and find it. Post up those pictures. You know how we love to see the pictures. Smash that like on your way out. Relics Radio tomorrow night. Allison Walker, Pink Power Alley. We'll see you, folks. Take care.